Hi, I'm Tani, and we are going to be talking about the Shomron region. You know, behind me here, it looks a lot like the Shomron. It's a pretty rocky, mountainous, hilly area, pretty dry looking. But the beauty and the richness of this valley is just something that I can't wait to share with you. Now, we've been talking about the Golan Heights and the regions around it, the countries around it, the borders. Well, at one point, there was a time when a man named Moses stood in Jordan looking over into this valley called the Shomron. And in this valley, he was telling the children as they gazed upon it, they were about to enter their promised land. They were going to go in under Joshua's reign. And he was telling them what the promises were. He recounted them to them. And he said, when you get to these two mountains that they could see, that the Mount of Blessing and the Mount of Curse, that they were to divide the tribes. And they were to stand on those two mountains and they were to declare what the promises were if they obeyed God and what he has spoken to them. And what the curses would be if they disobeyed all that he had spoken to them. Well, before the children ever entered, there was a man that came before them, and his name was Abraham. Abraham was a nomad and living in the land of Haran, when all of a sudden one day, God saw him, said, I want you, Abraham, to pack up the family, and I want you to take them to a land that I will show you. Abraham was obedient to that, and he walked, and God brought him to this very, very valley, the Shomron Valley. And there, if you know the story of Abraham, you will see that God took him to a high point and showed him all the land that was to be his and the people of Israel. Well, Abraham walked into this valley, and there, by those same two mountains, Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, the Mount of Blessing and the Mount of Curse, Abraham built an altar and honored God. They built tents, and he and his family lived in that area. This area, the Shomron, has communities in it known as Itamar, Shiloh, Elan Moreh. These are areas that you can read about in the Bible. They're very real. They're very, very real places where the ark once sat. This would be known to us here in America as the Bible Belt of Israel. It is the place that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob walked as they first entered the land. It is the place where the children were brought after spending time in the wilderness, when they were taken out of captivity in Egypt, and they were given their promised land. It's the Bible Belt. But today, let's talk about that Bible Belt area. It is, again, there's hills, and down below a valley. In between those mountains is the place called Shechem, and it is the burial place of Joseph. Down in this valley today, which once tread the feet of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the forefathers and the children as they entered, and even Jesus as he would walk from Jerusalem back to the Galilee. Those grounds now are under Palestinian Authority control, and the Jewish people hold the mountaintops. Like it was in the northern part of Golan, those mountaintops are the high points of security. They are the protector to the people of Israel as a whole. You have to understand this region. But this Bible Belt area, while it might look dry and rocky and a little arid, is producing where the Jewish people live. It produces the rich agriculture. It produces farms, and it produces livestock. It's a place that is phenomenal, just like the northern part of Israel. I want you to come to the Shomron with me, where I can show you the beauty of God's promised land to the Jewish people.